All right, if you could have any running back in their prime, in history, not for his total career, not who's the greatest running back of all time, but just in their prime, a good 3-4 year stretch, who would you take? I've unveiled for you my 6 through 4 rankings, and I got to be honest with you, I might have one do-over. I might have made one mistake. I said at number 6, I would take Emmitt Smith. At number 5, Earl Campbell. At number 4, O.J. Simpson. Now, we've had a lot of people tweet in, call in, text in. Friend of the show, Marcus Mosier, says number 1 on your list has to be LaDainian Tomlinson in 2006. So, Rudy, you brought up Bo Jackson and asked me if Bo Jackson's going to be in the top 3, because I'm about to give you my top 3 in their prime running backs. But we looked it up. Bo Jackson honestly doesn't get to be. He never even had a 1,000-yard season. Now, granted, he never played a full season, and we used the eye test, and we saw Bo Jackson was, jaw-dropping, but he doesn't get to be in this list when he didn't even play a full season. I think the one do-over is I might have included Earl Campbell a little highly. Looking back, he had the 7th highest single-season rushing total of all time. He rushed for over 1,900 yards, but he only really did it for 2, 3, 4 years before Earl Campbell began to tail off. And I was looking at this, and I'm like, most guys have a run of like 5, 6 years where they are hitting on all cylinders. And when they are, for example, LaDainian Tomlinson was at 1,600, 1,600, 1,300, 1,400, 1,800 yards in those years. And I got to be honest, guys like Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders and Walter Payton are beasts because they did it for more than 6. They did it for a decade. But who would I want if I only could take it just unadulterated, 3 to 4 years in their prime? At number 3, I will take Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson's numbers where, LT is at 1,600, 1,700. Adrian Peterson's 1,700, 2,000 yards. He was absolutely stunning. Doesn't have the touchdown numbers, by the way. He's right there, but LaDainian Tomlinson had 115 touchdowns during that prime stretch. Adrian Peterson has 72. But Adrian Peterson is a power, speed, and moves runner. All of it. Single-handedly drug that Minnesota Vikings team to the playoffs. How many times do you see a running back in today's modern NFL be the guy that leads you in winning and to the playoffs? It's always a quarterback. Not with those Vikings. It was Peterson. At number 2, it's Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders not only had the longevity, he not only did what Emmitt Smith and Walter Payton did, but in those prime years, it's just stupid. 9 seasons, all of them about above 1,500 yards, 5 yards a carry on average. Barry Sanders, jaw-dropping. Every run was like, talk about, we said Pat Mahomes' most exciting player to watch in the NFL right now. Barry Sanders was probably the most exciting player I've ever seen play. Just like played Frogger out there, going every which way. But that leads me to number 1. Number 1 running back in his prime. Now, you were searching your mind during the commercial break. Do you have any idea who it is yet?
I don't know.
I sort of like that it's gone under the radar for some reason, but this guy, I don't think ever gets enough credit. Ever. You still don't have it? I'm just kind of waiting to see if it dawns on you.
Am I the only one?
You going Herschel?
No. I'm not going Herschel. I think the number 1 running back of all time during his prime has to be Eric Dickerson.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that.
Why do people forget about Dickerson?
I don't know. You just don't think about him.
All-time single-season rushing leader. In his prime, Dickerson, 1,800, 2,100, 1,200, but that was it wasn't a full season. It was like 11, 12 games. Back to 1,800. Same thing, 1,300, not a full season. Back to 1,600. Just like 1,800-yard seasons were the going rate. And then, of course, he had his, 2,100? Yeah, 2,100 single-season rushing leader. 4.5 yards a carry. Not quite the Barry Sanders yards per carry, but Eric Dickerson, he does not get near enough credit. In his prime, that's who I'll take. If I need 2 or 3 seasons out of a guy, I want Eric Dickerson's prime.